Right now, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is delivering his farewell remarks from the State Department. And just moments ago, he was heckled from the crowd about U.S. support for Israel. Let's play back that sound.
Finally, I just wanted to share this morning.
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Answer a damn question.
I look forward to answering questions in a few minutes.
You know about Israel's nuclear weapons. Everybody from the ICJ. I was sitting here quietly, and now I'm being manhandled by 2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press. You pontificate about a free press. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I am asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I'm asked.
Please, sir, respect the process. We'll have an opportunity to take questions in a few minutes.
Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process. Thank you.
Oh, respect the process. Respect this process. Well, everybody from Amnesty International. From Amnesty International to the ICJ saying that Israel is doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal, why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague?
Well, security ended up escorting that individual out. CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman joins us now. Willie, give us your take on what happened during those very tense moments. Was that individual a journalist?
Hey there, Liz. Good to be with you. A tense moment indeed. Now, to get access to the press briefing room at the State Department, you have to have the proper credentials. So presumably this person was a journalist, some type of journalist here in the D.C. area. It's unclear who this individual was. If we get those details, we'll make sure to bring them to you. But nonetheless, Secretary Antony Blinken being heckled in this sense in terms of the U.S.'s support of Israel. Now, he did mention during that briefing, he expressed that he's confident that this agreement between Hamas and Israel would be carried out as early as this Sunday. We could see the first few hostages released after this deal came about. Now, this has been months, weeks worth of diplomacy. The Secretary of State has traveled to the region many times to bring about this deal, but it really was in the last few days that this came about, this deal between Hamas and Israel, the United States, Egypt, Qatar, other countries being involved in the region as well. President Biden sending his Middle East envoy, Brett McGurk, to the region, and also President-elect Trump sending his appointed Middle Eastern envoy, sending his envoy, I should say, to Steve Wilcock to essentially help negotiate and bring about a little bit of pressure from the president-elect to hear his input in this agreement. Of course, I'll note that President Biden may have taken some of the credit, President-elect Trump trying to take some of the credit as well, but much of this agreement will be carried out under the Trump administration. It's important to point that out because over the next several weeks, if this agreement does indeed happen, it could fall apart at any moment, but if it does happen, those hostages, for the most part, will be released once President-elect Trump is in office.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch this press briefing, Willie, only because, he gave his statements. There were some hecklers, but then that first question, the reporter mentioned that the last time they were in a briefing like this with Condoleezza Rice, all of the questions were about the conflict in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas, what's happening there in the region between Israel and Gaza. And today it was much of the same. So this has sort of been the same kind of tense situation that's going on there. Maybe possibly today some sort of movement forward. But what else did you take out of that press briefing in terms of the future of the ceasefire deal?
Yeah, and it's interesting that you pointed out that question. That question was asked by Matt Miller, a reporter for the Associated Press. He is really an institution at the State Department. I've seen him. He asked these questions to many Secretary of States over the years. And it's really interesting to see all this wrap up. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has really has to pass the baton, essentially. He's talked about a day after plan that he would present the incoming team with. That would call for the reconstruction of Gaza. That would call for a security force composed of other nations to be able to go into Gaza and make sure to keep things safe. But still, nonetheless, we are here as we were years ago, talking about Israel and Gaza and this tense situation in the Middle East. Although things certainly have changed a little bit since then with the Abraham Accords, the pathway towards normalization, now normalization between Israel and a country like Saudi Arabia, for instance, didn't happen in large part because of this situation that happened on October 7th, some 15 months ago. But still, nonetheless, President Biden saying that the world is in a better spot than it was 4 years ago when he took office. But of course, President-elect Trump and his supporters might disagree with that. But the Secretary of State laying out some of the successes, the major accomplishments in his eyes in that briefing today, Liz, there at the State Department.
All right, CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman. Thanks so much, Willie.